Okay, in this video we'll be discussing some main entree options for a bug out situation. What I'm about to review here are some options that are limited by both weight and volume. That is to say, they are each light enough and small enough to be carried quite easily and for long distances. Okay, let's get started. We'll be going over dehydrated or freeze-dried entrees, store-bought entrees, MRE type entrees, and first strike ration entrees. Okay, we begin with the freeze-dried option for a few reasons. First, it's by far the lightest option available. Second, it has a significant shelf life. Now, I realize there are many freeze-dried brands out there, but I've chosen to focus on a smaller set that seems to me to be representative of the entire spectrum of products that are available to you on the market. Mountain House is, I believe, situated right in the center value-wise. It's a solid company, it's been around for a long time, and it caters to the middle-of-the-road hiker. After a lot of research, I believe it's here where you'll get the most value for your money. Alpine Air and Backpackers Pantry are awesome as well. Wonderful products. They both offer a lot of specialized or gourmet options. If that's where your taste buds and wallet are, go for it. Now, I'm including Mary Jane's Farm here as well because their entrees are both vegetarian and organic. Now, hey, I know this stuff is definitely not for us tough guys, but these entrees might make sense for little children or older folks who may have allergies to certain additives and preservatives that are typically found in highly processed foods. So you got to consider all the angles, even the ones that don't pertain to you. Okay, let's begin with Mountain House. Now, zeroing in on a shelf life was a bit difficult for all these products because it varied from entree to entree, and it further depended on the temperature of your storage room. With Mountain House, 5 to 7 years was typically stated on most websites. Freeze-dried foods need to be reconstituted, so you're going to need boiling water. Now, as I've mentioned in my other videos, one of the best ways to boil water is with a jet boil cooking system. The reviews on the jet boil system, I think you'll find, are incredibly high rated, but hey, there are several other well-tested and trusted systems out there as well, so you make your own choice. Now, the hot water goes directly into the pouch, seal it, wait for a specified amount of time, and voila, you get this. I took the liberty of listing some of the more common main entrees for Mountain House. If you don't see what you like in all the lists I post in this video, I recommend you visiting the manufacturer's website because the complete entree offerings are very extensive for each company, and it'd take me about 3 videos just to list them all. Here are some common breakfast entrees also offered by Mountain House. I'm going to go quickly, so if you need to check out these lists, just pause the video. Going into the gourmet freeze-dried category, we have Backpackers Pantry. Estimated shelf life for these puppies is around 4 to 6 years, again, depending on the entree as well as the temperature of your storage room. Same deal here. Add hot water directly into the pouch, seal it, wait for a specified amount of time, and you got your meal. Here are some common entrees offered by Backpackers Pantry. Now notice that our meals here are a bit more stylish. You got shepherd's pie, kung pao chicken, Jamaican barbecue chicken. It gets a little fancy here. Again, if this is where you're at, knock yourself out. I'm just listing the options available to you. As an added bonus, Backpackers Pantry offers a good array of vegetarian meals as well. Okay, let's move on. You may notice their breakfast options here are really high speed. You might want to grab some of these just to vary your choices when out in the field. Now, going into the high-end freeze-dried category, we have Mary Jane's Farm. These are very specialized because they're both vegetarian and organic. Estimated shelf life is around 3 to 5 years, depending on the entree and your storage conditions. Again, add hot water, seal it, wait for 15 minutes, and you're good to go. Here are some entrees offered by Mary Jane's Farm. Again, vegetarian, all organic. As I said before, if you have individuals in your group who are allergic to certain additives and preservatives, you may want to look here. Okay, let's move on to a taste comparison between Mountain House and Backpackers Pantry.
Hi all, this is the wife of Analytical Survival. I'll be helping with the taste test for this series. We have some water here boiling on the jet boil. It took just a few minutes to bring us to a boil. And we're going to try out some scrambled eggs and bacon here and some kung pao chicken. We'll be back in a few minutes for the taste test when it's done. It's not bad. When you have this, don't really expect this to taste exactly like the eggs that you're going to make at home. This is some sort of artificial bacon. Again, it's okay, but it's, you got to know what to expect when you're having it out there. All right? Okay. I'm actually impressed with this. If you've ever gone out for takeout for Chinese food, you're going to find that it's going to taste very similar. I like it. I actually might buy this and pretend it's like takeout.
Okay, let's quickly move on to some portable store-bought entrees. I chose the Hormel Completes because they're an excellent example of pre-cooked meals that only require heating. And since you most likely won't be carrying a microwave into the field, you have the option of either eating these cold as is, or you can place the unopened containers in boiling water, and in 8 to 10 minutes, you'll be good to go with a hot meal. True, you won't have to add water to these like the freeze-dried entrees, but you're going to use water just the same if you plan on heating these, right? Common sense. They're also heavier than the freeze-dried options. The shelf life on these range from between 12 to 18 months. Now that's not super long-range storage, of course, but that's still considerable, and these will each run you around $2 to $3 on average. So these score very high in terms of affordability, but a little low on long-term storage. Now here are some menu options offered with the Completes. As you can see, it's incredibly varied. Hormel is also making chili meals. Same technology, same portability, it's just variations on the chili concept. These over here are made by a different manufacturer but come in some popular Mexican style dishes. They're great for adding variation. Okay, now we're going to taste test a Hormel's Complete. This one is chicken Alfredo.
They actually have some pretty nice big chunks of chicken in here. And it's a pretty light Alfredo sauce. Not bad if you're bugging out. Take another bite. It's good.
Okay, let's move on to a time-tested favorite, the military MRE. Of course, these entrees usually come with a full meal, but you also have the option of purchasing them separately from a few commercial outlets, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Of course, you can always buy the actual military MREs online, like on eBay, for instance, for pretty reasonable prices if you're lucky. If you do that, though, you'll also have to take the seller's word regarding the conditions under which they were stored before you bought them. You can minimize that risk by buying from a commercial supplier. Some reputable commercial brands are Ameriqual, Menu C, MRE Star, and Sopaco. As far as long-term storage, the MRE performs extremely well. They can store for up to 10 years in the right conditions, but 7 to 10 years is quite normal for an MRE. The packaging is durable and the entrees are getting more and more varied each year. Here are all the MRE main entree variations that contain beef and poultry. Here's some pork options, some seafood options, and some vegetarian options, as well as some soup and stew options. And hey, the breakfast options are excellent and varied as well. Now, if you choose to purchase commercial MREs by the case, I've provided some helpful information here. You can also buy single MRE entrees from some great online distributors, and here's the information as well. Okay, let's move on to an MRE taste test of the egg omelet and beef ravioli.
Okay, these don't taste like eggs at all. These are pretty horrible. I would actually prefer the Mountain House freeze-dried eggs as opposed to these MRE eggs. Okay, not bad. You see some big chunks of meat in here, and that's pretty generous. The sauce is bland but very decent.
Okay, last but not least, we come to the military first strike ration. It has an entire day's supply in one ration. As you can see here, it's been reduced down quite a bit. These were made specifically with a combat troop in mind. Now, we're only going to be focusing in on the pocket sandwich here. There are 5 varieties: Italian style, pepperoni, honey barbecue chicken, honey barbecued beef, and bacon cheddar. Shelf life, only 2 years. Now, at the time of this filming, the only place I could find them was at the epicenter.com. Now, these sandwiches are very straightforward, and the closest comparison I can make here is that they're kind of like the Hot Pockets that you buy at the store. Okay, let's do a quick taste test and then we're out of here.
Here's the Italian sandwich. The bread's really moist. And there's a lot of meat in this one. I say the sauce is really tasty. Here's the honey barbecue beef. Again, the bread's really moist. A little less meaty, but still really good. The sauce is a little sweeter, and I would actually say these are both real winners. Great.
Okay, that concludes main entrees. Next up, side dishes.